All right. Got it turned inside out. Let's see what we got going on here. So one thing I noticed on this guy, you did it glued kind of just to the surface. You can do it that way. I generally will glue it from the back side, kind of the way you did that guy right there. That ends up holding up better over time. What you can do, because I'm a little concerned, I see it trying to separate right here. So I can get my needle up under that. Put some more glue. In fact, I see some bubbles coming up right here. It looks like it's trying to leak. What you can do that'll help if you want to do it like that, you can take a little donut ring of material. You can actually take the valve, stick it down on some scrap material, and draw a circle around it with a silver Sharpie or like a gel pen, and then cut not on the line, but like half inch away from the line, and then also a half inch like inward, and then you end up with a donut that you can kind of slip over this, and then you can glue down on top of it to kind of reinforce it. So that's something that you can do, and that's probably what I'll do to this to kind of reinforce it. I can see it trying to kind of separate. That's one cool thing about the valves being clear, is you can kind of see what's going on. Let's see if we're getting any. I saw some bubbling just a second ago, but I put some glue, I put some glue in there. I think that part's okay for now, but I, with something like that, I'd be worried over time what's going to happen to it. Got a little bit of a leak right there. That's pretty common spot. Probably the place I get the most leaks on people is down kind of towards the end. Just check all this real quick. Damn, you did a pretty good job, really, on leak checking this, and I'll hand it to you there. Good. I think you get an A on that. Yeah, I think you get an A+ on that part. Good job. So really, it looks like the only leak you really got is right here. Before I fix it, maybe I'll kind of check around. This one right here is a little bit tricky because it's down in there. You almost have to kind of like just dump a bunch of soap in there and see what happens. Like that. Well, you didn't even see what the heck I did. I'm out of the frame of the camera. Sorry. I just kind of dumped some of the soap down in there, and if we have a leak, we should see some bubbling going on, which I don't. So I think we're safe there. So a couple other things to check before I go to try to fix that one spot. Let me look and see down here about this patch. Do we have anything? Well, there's a little bit. Not bad, but there's a little bit right here. I can probably get my needle up under there. Well, that looks pretty good. All right, let's see about this guy here. See if we got anything. A little bit. I'm gonna actually change needles to a green one. It's a little bit thicker. This one's got a slightly bigger opening. Might as well get a little bit better glue in there. That looks pretty good. I'll probably come back and check on those again just to make sure they don't open back up. But I think really, well, that's odd. Look at this weird bubbling going on right here. Huh. So this is on the fin. Where is that coming from? Not really sure. We got something has opened up right in here. I am not really sure what the heck that thing is. It's like a piece that's stuck to it. Weird. I don't know if that's like a factory defect or something. Kind of looks that way. What I might need to do, unfortunately, sometimes we do have to deal with that. So it's got this weird little piece right here. I think what I'm going to do about that is first I'm going to glue this down because it's right next to it, this flap. I'm going to put a bunch of glue under this because it rides right next to it. Now, if I'm going to put a patch kind of over this thing, I got to make sure this is glued down first so that air can't get up under this. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue here. Like that. The cool thing about kind of doing this patchwork when it's inflated is it kind of pushes out and kind of holds things together. So now I'm going to take a piece and I'll put it over that. Let me go grab a piece real quick. Let's see how big of a piece I need. Whoa! Knocked that valve off. All right. See if I can cover it with I have to kind of go at a diagonal to get the width that I need, like this. All right. Go ahead and make sure that I got decent glue under this lip. And I'm not gonna be able to glue this thing in one go. It's too long. So I'm gonna put some on the end just to get it started. And then I'm gonna work a little bit of this at a time. All right. Kind of keep checking on this guy. I may need to inflate this a little bit tighter. It's lost just a little bit of air, and it's making it a little harder to kind of give me something to push against. It's not too squishy. Although I can try to see if like we got any leaking going on here. That looks pretty good. When you have something that kind of goes under a flap though, you do kind of want to check and see if you lift the flap up, this little guy, get some soapy water under there, kind of on both sides, you know, on that side of the patch and then over here on this side, because a lot of times air can kind of channel down around it. But that looks pretty good. All right, so I think that's good for that. Now let me check this. We had a leak at the end of the zipper. I don't remember which side it was. I guess maybe it's this side. Now I'm pushing on this fin to try to kind of squeeze to see where this leak is. So we got a leak here. My guess is, you see bubbles here, but that's just the symptom. The cause is going to be along your seam somewhere. Sometimes you can figure that out by pushing on different places. So like, I get these bubbles going like this, and then if I can try to like make it stop by pushing on different places. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a shot. I suspect it could be here because it's kind of bubbled up right there under that part of the strip, but it could be down here. So usually what I do when I run into this, because there's only so much you can do by sticking the needle actually where the bubbles are coming from. It's not going to really get you too far. What I might have better luck with is if I stick the needle down here, kind of in this area. Yeah, look at that. So like I'm definitely getting some bubbles. I poked my syringe kind of into this spot, and it was kind of where I was suspecting, because it's kind of bubbled up right here. And that tells me maybe it's not, it's got an air pocket sort of. It's not filled in with glue. So my thought is, let's see if I can't get some glue down in here. Maybe even back here just a little bit. You got to be real careful doing this because you don't want to poke all the way through the whale to the outside. You just kind of want to poke into like a little bit of a blister area where maybe it needs some more glue. And the thing is if you poke in there, then if you inject enough glue, it'll seal off the hole that you just put in. You got to be super careful though that you're not going through to the outside, because you might get this sealed off, and then when you go, I've done this before, when you go to unzip it, you'll have all sorts of glue. So I'm gonna, in fact, I kind of am feeling right here to make sure I'm not like sticking through, and I'm okay. Because you can end up making a serious mess on the outside and basically glue everything together. It's awful. So let's see, does that help us? Not entirely. We still got a little bit of glue going on, or a little bit of bubbles going on there. I wonder if there's something down here. Let me try more. Well, actually, I already have a hole. Let me see if I can use that hole again. Where did I go? I went right here. But I kind of what I want to do is use this hole but go back this direction if I can. I'm going straight through right there. Damn it! I knew it. Because I could go like this, and yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. So this is definitely not an easy thing to do. There we go. Now I'm in between the layers. But it really does help out. It is definitely necessary to be able to go between. Still got a little bit of bubble. So I'm going to come down here and see if I got some. Okay. I'm seeing right here that there is definitely, I had some bubbles coming out of that hole just now, so there's definitely some stuff over here on this side. And then completely in the wrong spot, trying to I think one thing I would suggest is your zipper stops here, but then your seam where you folded things under is not very far away from it. And that usually is the recipe for this. I would have pulled your circle up here a little bit more where you folded everything under. It's just too close to the zipper. So it's hard to to get a good bond, because you're trying to glue this patch across an uneven surface, and it's just hard to get a good seal when it's that close. I've seen this happen quite a few times with different people's stuff when it's too close. Yeah, actually, I think this might be it over here. Yeah, see, I can definitely see some bubbles coming out of this. Oh yeah, it's hissing pretty good. I think this is definitely our gap. Yep. I think we just didn't have a good, the seam kind of stopped somewhere in here. There's a gap. The problem is it's kind of a big range. I don't know if I can glue this down without clamping it. It's kind of like here to here, and it is what I first suspected too. It is that kind of that little spot that looked bubbled up. I can feel it too. There's just nothing really attached from the inside to the outside in this area. I think the problem is it's so big. It's about I don't know, not quite it's about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide. That's like a gap. And with it being inflated, it's just pulling it apart every time. I either need to deflate it or I need to like clamp it. So I can put my finger under and it's not attached. Force it together like this. Worst case, I could cut it back here and get into it and then try to seal it off with a strip and then seal my cut. I've done that before. Sometimes that is faster than sitting here trying to, screw around with this over and over again and not get anywhere for a long time. Sometimes it's easier to just cut in, take care of it, get back out, fix your cut, and then be done with it. This is definitely taking a bit to try to glue this back together. This right here. And there's no point in trying to put glue where the bubbles are, because this is zipper fabric and it'll never stick to it. You can soak the zipper fabric in glue and you can get it to stick, but ultimately over time it's not going to stay bonded. It'll come loose pretty quickly and then it'll start leaking. So just speaking from experience using these things for years, with what will hold up. All right, well, let's see. We're obviously still leaking somewhere. Just still got the bubbles coming up from right there. One thing I might do is try a long needle. Using a long needle, I can go in kind of where the bubbles are coming out, but I don't want to put glue right there. But I can maybe use that as an access to get to where things are coming from. So it's kind of on this side here. So kind of go way down in here. Which is right down in this area. Coming out over here too. So it's definitely down in this spot. Yeah, it's next time, just before you do this curved piece at the end, try to give yourself a nice inch or so from where the zipper fabric stops before you start making this curved piece. It'll give yourself a little more clearance and it'll really help out with some of this stuff. It's funny, we seem to have sealed that part off. And now we're down here dealing with this. And then I just changed sides. That's hilarious. But obviously, it is down in this spot right down here in the crotch of the zipper, it seems. Sometimes you really have to kind of enjoy doing puzzles to do this stuff. It can definitely be a challenge, but the best thing to do is to try to prevent it from the beginning. Just have lots of clearance around your zippers. All right, I think we might have got it. I'm gonna let that just sit and I'll come check on it. And obviously it's lost a little bit of air, but I don't want to inflate it. I want to let that sit for a minute and then I'll inflate it and see how it does.